Day 8 of the bootcamp, folks, and I must confess I had a look at yesterday's video and I understood I jumped the gun a little bit, so please just bear with me, forgive me for that. It's just sometimes when I get into the charts, man, I've got so much love for this, so I get carried away. But I mean, it is what it is, not really apologetic about it. I just hope that you can truly see the passion in me, and when I really start talking about trading, it's going to happen a lot, man. It's not the first time it's going to happen. I really get carried away with this. But when I looked at the video, I was asking myself, I was trying to place myself into your shoes. And I was asking myself the type of questions that can only guess you guys would have asked. And one of those were, what if we did have a breakout above Asia session high or low, and it reversed? And remember what I said in one video, we need to look at it in context. We need to look at it in a higher time frame. So for example, I picked up on this movement right here. We had the engulfing candle, the bullish engulfing candle breaking above Asia session. So if you look on the 30-minute Asia session, it also broke above. But then it brings me back to one of the concepts that I teach, and it's the exhaustion area. So the exhaustion area, it broke above, and the minute it hit that low, we talk about the proximal and distal line, the moment it hit that low, that was inevitably the idea that got generated by me that this is a fake out, this is going to be a fake out, because look on the 1 hour as well. This is where it gets really confusing. On the 1 hour, we came back up, saw the exhaustion area, and came back down. Now, what makes it even more difficult, and this is not me being contradicting, this is me trying to explain a real life example so that you don't think that these videos are just perfect and everything goes seamless. I mean, it does work very well, and if you do the right thing, if you do what I show you, you're not going to have any problems. But I'm trying to talk about scenarios where it's not that perfect. So we have a bullish day, we have another bullish day. So of course we want to buy right here, but then folks, this is where it all comes down to why you need to wait for the high and why you need to wait for the low. Back in the day, and I still do this, I like to wait for a closure above on the 30-minute and then take the candle flip to the top side. But what's very important is you also, if you zoom out, you will see no exhaustion looking left. But I want to focus on the H1 or the H2, I believe. Let me just go to that market area on the H2. On the H2, on that exact moment, you will see that we just filled a gap. Now a gap is very important because it is where market prices were imbalanced and the market was out of balance, and then it just came back up to fill that balance. So this was just a very unfortunate scenario where it happened. I don't want you guys to get confused about this. I need you guys to stick with a plan. And remember though, we did not hit a lower high at London session for you to even consider taking longs. That's very important. That's rule number 2 in our rule book. You need to wait for the highs and lows to be tested. We did test that low during reversal hour. It came back up, but we did not break the high of London session. So what I'm trying to say here is there was not a reason for you to take any trade. Let's look at NY session. NY session, did we create a high or low in the first hour? No, we did not. We created the low, but we did not create a high for us to take some longs off from that. Then when we took the low, we hit the low. When we broke below, it was not a rejection. We saw the initial rejection. You probably would have looked at taking longs right here. We did not break that high. If you go to a 5-minute, you can also see structure did not break it. You can see the 5-minute was just one candle, was not 2 candles. So that's important. We need structure to break. We need to see something like this. One candle, then the second candle forming, exactly like we're looking for on the daily time frame. That would have been a good probable idea for us to go on longs. So also in NY session, folks, there was no trade in NY session. So that's very important to understand. You need to hit the highs and the lows before you can anticipate. Now, it's not to say that we're going to take trades immediately off the high and the low. It's not to say that, okay? It's the high and the low, it's like exactly like the high and the low of the day. It only generates the idea. So if you're, let's look at an example. Let's say like right over here. Whoops. You hit the low right, you hit the high right here. You hit an exhaustion area, and then we see an engulfing variation. Now for you to try and look at sells, you can hop down to a 5-minute time frame and you can wait for a break of structure. You would have seen counter trend line drawing that pressure, or very, very simple, you could have seen we created this low and this engulfing candle broke below this low and you could have taken sells. But once again, folks, it needed to be in context. This is an up move. So everything needs to go hand in hand. You need to look at context. So with regards to the video I posted yesterday, I don't want you to get confused about it. Please, I need you guys to remember everything needs to go in context and everything needs to go hand in hand with you understanding the overall trend and why that high and the low was created. So just wanted to clear that up. In today's video, we're going to talk about the second hour, because the second hour is very important. The second hour I like to call the reversal hour. Well, we just came up with it. It was the death hour, but now it's a reversal hour because we're not crazy lunatics that want to talk about death. But at the end of the day, we want to have a look at the reversal hour. Now, the reversal hour is usually the time of day where I don't take setups. It just goes hand in hand with what I just spoke about. It might generate the idea, like I saw the reversal, it goes with the trend, then I'll take a buy, or from the third hour. The second hour is not usually it's usually a time when I will sit on my hands and I will wait. Why is that? Is because 9 times out of 10 is when it will reverse. So let's say that you have an uptrend, you have two green setup days, and then on the third day you see Asia session breaking that high, coming back down during London session, then all of a sudden it comes down, you want to take some longs, but then during reversal hour it comes down. What I will do then, when I see the reversal, I'll wait for a break of structure and then take longs during the third hour. So the second hour will allow me to generate the idea of taking longs. But the third hour is when I will take it. So you always need to get an idea. You always need to get a thesis. And the minute you get a thesis, you will most definitely understand that, okay, bet. Now's the time for me to hop in on the overall idea. So the first thing you do, draw the highs and lows of the week. Second thing is draw the highs and lows of the day. Third thing, is you draw the highs and lows of the Asia session. And then what I want you to do is then look at context. Is it a green setup day? Is it a red setup day? Is it a false break reversal? What you then do after you got that is you take the Asia session and you look at that for context. So you first look at the bigger picture context, then you look at the little picture context. Then on the little picture, you want to see Asia session high or low being broken or closed, broken above, broken below. Then with London session, just continuing with that trend. Then you want to see NY session hitting the high, hitting the stops, or hitting the stops down low. And then you want to continue with the bigger picture context. It's simple, right? Play that on repeat because it's not going to change. That's the rule. So what I want to look at then is on the second hour. The second hour is usually counter trend, and that then creates the idea for the third hour. So in the second hour, we can see we created a high here in NY session. The market came back down. What happened in second hour? At the first candle of the second hour, we created a reversal to a top side, but it was still in consolidation. I don't care. It was still the reversal, and the reversal went hand in hand with yesterday's low of NY session. So then we hit that low of the NY session. I'm not in buys here, folks, because remember, I don't trade the reversal hour. 9 times out of 10, I won't trade the reversal hour. What happens then? We broke above the high of the retracement, and then we can take some longs to the top side. Now, once again, folks, it's very important to understand the context, and I will always do this because you always need to understand the context. So many traders are failing because they don't understand context. They want to take longs. I don't care how good the longs look. You're in a downtrend, bro. Why do you want to trade against the overall current? Why do you want to swim against the current? Doesn't make any sense. And people bitch and moan because they lose trades, but all they do is they just sit zoned in on the 15-minute time frame. They don't zoom out on the bigger time frame and focus on what the bigger time frame is telling you. There's so many concepts out there. Look at this, look at this. I'm trading institution, I'm trading trend lines. It doesn't matter if you cannot just zoom out and look at what the higher time frame is telling you. That's the most important thing for us as traders to do. I don't care what time frame you're trading. Once again, if you're trading the H1, the 15, the 5, or even the 10 minute, you always need to look at what the context is telling you. That's like, it is a pivotal point in your trading. If you're trading fundamentals, if you're trading technical analysis, I don't know how much clearer I can make this, but always look at the context. So as you can see, very beautiful move, but we did not get even a ×2 risk to reward ratio, and that sucks. We don't want that. We don't want to trade every day. We want to take the high quality setups and make in one day what normal newbies would make in 5 days. Okay? If you put risk on the table the whole time, you're going to end up losing. And it's going to play a psychological part in your trading to the degree where you feel like it's impacting you. And my friend, it's going to impact you because confidence is key in this game. So you want to have quality setups, sniper setups. You want to focus on the highest quality or the highest risk reward ratio trades that you possibly can. Once again, folks, it always happens. We have the first hour low. In the second hour, we had a reversal. What happens at the beginning of the third hour? We had continuation of that trend. So this is also one thing that I do. If I took a buy right here, and I see second hour reversal, but it's not breaking structure in context, I know in the third hour I can stack my trades up until the high. Now, it's very important to know that the high of the day, well, the high of the week was tested, and then that's why the market went down. So once again, I'm really gonna irritate you guys, but context is super important. So the second hour is usually when you see reversals. Now, I don't want you guys to steer away from the second hour. If you see a good setup, you can trade in the second hour. Just make sure that it is not against your daily bias. If you see a reversal against your daily bias, you know there's trouble. And my friend, if you see the first hour not creating the high and low and you see the second hour reversing, there's even bigger trouble. I will not trade that day. But if the high and the low was created and the second hour reverses against the trend, I will take the continuation of that move on the third hour. Very simple to understand, folks. I need you guys to go ahead on gold or any indice that you guys like. Look at the second hour. Tell me what observation you see, because there's a lot of different aspects to the degree of the setup that you can see. But most importantly, it's going to be a reversal against the daily bias. I hope you guys learned a lot. Very short one, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. Peace out.